Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wrestling Has Lost Its Way. What a hell of a week it has been. So, before we get it going, Andrew, you decided to mute yourself, so I can't unmute you. Solid start to the show.
By the way, welcome to Wrestle Lost.
Yeah, it threw me off a little bit. Welcome to Wrestle Lost. To get it going, here's Johnny.
Okay. We've found out the identity of some of the wrestlers that were contacted by WWE from AEW. The first one being Malachi Black, which would explain why he wanted his release. But even though he's under contract till 2027 with AEW, and they've given him a conditional release, so he'll be out for a while. And while this is going on, they did put a non-compete clause on him, so he can't go work for WWE. He can still take indie booking, but not a major wrestling company. The other names that were listed were FTR. They were also contacted. Back in July, WWE had held tryouts in Nashville during SummerSlam weekend, and it was mostly college athletes, but there was one particular athlete that that Triple H was impressed by, and may be coming in to work with WWE, and that's recently retired NBA All-Star Dwight Howard. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so we may have another pro athlete come into the company. And you know what? If he comes in, I wouldn't be surprised if Rob Gronkowski comes back as well. Some injury news. Ruby Soho has just had surgery on her broken nose, and Kushida, after their New Japan show on the 21st, was diagnosed with hand, foot, and mouth disease, and he was pulled from the show on the 23rd. And New Japan already had to cancel a couple dates this week anyway because of a typhoon.
That would be a good reason to not have a couple of episodes there.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of situations going on around Florida and stuff like that where they're going to get hurricanes this coming week, so it's going to be a little jacked up. But yeah, that would be a good reason to cancel a show.
Yeah. And AEW or Tony Khan he transitioned a couple wrestlers into coaches. The team of Luther and Luch and Serpentico are now coaches with AEW. So that's where that's at. As far as the whole fallout, at all out situation, still no word yet on status CM Punk or Ace Steel. As far as Kenny and the Young Bucks go, they haven't been contacted. AEW's pretty much gone silent on them for now. They have no idea when they're even going to go back to the company. So that's all the news on that front. And unless y'all have anything else, that's all. That's all the news for this week. It was fairly light this week on the
Yeah,
news.
yeah. It seems like there wasn't a lot there. The only thing I did see, and it's not really news that affects us, but it's still something from the wrestling world that just made me think, what the hell is going on? Because again, it's just something stupid that I want to bring it up that I saw about an hour ago. Did y'all hear about Teddy Long's Twitter blocking spree?
No.
I don't know what the fuck Teddy Long is doing, but he has went to Twitter and blocked a couple of people. I'm talking like Renee Paquette. I think he blocked Saraya, Taz, just to name a couple. And they responded, like they put out tweets of their own saying, okay, I don't know what's going on with you, Teddy, but cool. Thanks for the block. I just thought it was something funny that I saw that I should bring up, seeing that's how news was so light. I just read right now, it might have been that he was hacked,
Oh, okay.
but we still don't have the full
But
details.
I was going to make the joke that it sounds like he's trying to get a job with AEW, but all those names you mentioned are either with AEW or AEW adjacent.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Most from what I saw, it's mostly AEW names. So I don't know. I don't know if he did get blocked, what this person who did it was thinking, but I don't know. I just at first my first thoughts were this is why old people shouldn't be on Twitter. But I don't know. It's gonna more news is gonna come out as soon as it does. So
Or
we'll
or
just see
maybe
where that goes.
or maybe he's trying to get a job with WWE again.
Please don't. Look,
Player?
all
I, I don't know. A Triple H Teddy Long might be good.
I just didn't really like the last character he had. The whole I'm gonna book this match, holla holla holla, and that was it. Like that's all he did.
The last time we saw him on WWE TV was after Kurt Angle went into the Hall of Fame, and Vince went out on Raw to introduce Kurt Angle, and he was like, this is a recent thing. You know, our new GM is just got into the WWE Hall of Fame, and Teddy Long comes out, and Vince is like, "No, Teddy, it's not you." Like, oh, okay, bye.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on over there, if it was a hack or this is just him being him and just wanting to block some people. Maybe there's something we don't know of. Maybe something happened between him and a whole shitload of people in AEW. So this is just the start of it. Who the fuck knows? Look, the guy's old. He shouldn't be on Twitter. All respect to him, but he shouldn't be on there. So, you know, this goes to something that we were talking about before we hopped on here. Andrew's already reading his magazine and preparing for the older years. He's using AARP magazine. So,
You still got like 7 years.
Yeah, I know.
dude,
Oh, but he is at the in-laws' house though.
yeah.
So it's at least it's not his copy.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, he's still got 7 years. Yeah, tell that to CM Punk. Look how well that went. sorry. It just happens. Yeah.
Did you hear Kevin Nash talking shit about CM Punk this week on some podcast?
Yeah, I did hear about it, about how CM Punk said he was tired
Yeah,
and
that
how
he's just working with a bunch of kids.
Yeah, and how Kevin Nash was wrestling like CM Punk and stuff when he was older than CM Punk. So yeah, look, man, I just think CM Punk is an easy target right now because of everything that happened. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a stupid situation still. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I think Kevin Nash shouldn't have said anything because that doesn't make you look any better either. But fuck it. What do I know? People can say whatever the fuck they want. So yeah, not a lot of news like Johnny said. So that was it for that. Now we're going to go through and talk about a lot of stuff that happened throughout the week, I have a feeling. So normally the way we do this was we would just do a moment per company, but seeing as there wasn't a lot of news, I'm going to go back to the old format just for a week. So a moment per episode. So Johnny, if you had to pick a moment for Raw, what would it be?
Let me think, because I mean, I know what happened, but my moment was going to be for SmackDown.
Okay.
Well, I mean, okay. I mean, I'm excited for something that we're going to get tomorrow on Raw, which is Johnny Gargano and Kevin Owens set up a match against Alpha Academy. That's going to be good. It's going to be in Canada, so it's going to be. I never thought of Gargano and Kevin Owens teaming up before. But the match that was really good was the one to open the show, which is Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley for the U.S. title, which of course Lashley retained because Matt Riddle interfered, and that feud is going to continue. And they're going to have a fight pit match at Extreme Rules, which is essentially going to be phony UFC fighting.
Yes, but because of Matt Riddle being in it and him being ex UFC,
and because now we're in the Triple H era, it's actually going to be good.
Yeah, we're gonna get a different look at a lot of things that Triple H wants to try out, and this is one of them.
which I can't believe we missed mentioning this on the news, but at Survivor Series we're getting War Games.
Yeah, we are. They did. That is something that came out throughout the week that they are going to do Survivor Series War Games. 2 matches, the normal status.
Yeah,
on
one man, one woman.
Yeah. So I don't know. We've given a lot of different thoughts about it. We've talked about it. We're still not sure what exactly is going to happen as far as who the teams are, but no matter what it ends up being, it's going to be greatness.
Yeah.
Especially since Triple H is in charge. So, hell yeah, man. I'm excited for that shit. I can't wait for War Games. The only thing I do see people down on since they announced it is William Regal not being around to announce it.
Oh, well, that's not his fault.
Yeah, that's not his fault. It's just when that's what you're used to.
Yeah.
Him announcing War Games, it's going to feel a little bit weird.
And maybe Triple H can talk to Tony Khan and they can just borrow him for a night.
Or pretty sure they can just use the audio from one of the other ones just to
just get permission.
War Games.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean they own that anyway. So
yeah, they own that audio, so they should be able to use it. But to have him there or a video of him like introducing it would be fucking great. But yeah, that's a big thing that's going to happen soon that
and
I'm
then,
really excited for.
And then this Friday, Royal Rumble tickets go on sale.
Yeah, which is in San Antonio.
Which this year will be the day before my birthday.
It's so damn close that I know I mentioned it before, but those tickets are going to fly.
Yeah.
Especially in San Antonio. Yeah, they're not going to be on the market for long.
Especially seeing how much the WrestleMania tickets have already sold.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to see what happens, but them tickets are going to sell real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, all this Survivor Series War Games and everything happened with the Riddle and the Fight Pit, I'm real excited for. So to see that they build that up on Monday and actually set up the match, I'm fucking here for it. So now that we got Johnny's moment in there for Raw, I'm going to go over to Andrew and get his moment for Raw.
Well, I was going to do the championship, United States Championship match too.
I mean, I didn't talk much about the match.
I thought it was a good match.
Yeah.
So we're going to share it then.
Okay.
And Bobby blocking the stomp. That was pretty cool. Then you get Riddle out there with the distraction. Seth getting now the hurt lock with the low blow. But Bobby ends up retaining. It was a good match through and through, so I enjoyed it.
Yeah, whenever Bobby did that spot where he wasn't taking the stomp right at first, like he was stopping it because of his strength.
Yeah.
I really like that spot. And the fact that they did it right at the beginning of the match, pretty much, it was still good. So, hell yeah, man. That was a really good match. I enjoyed it. As far as my moment, just because I think the match was really fucking awesome as well, and it was the main event, Bayley versus Alexa Bliss, I thought was a really good match. Just the way they work well together, and to have Alexa Bliss out there and not be what she used to be, like more of her old self. It's just better chemistry between them two, and the many matches they've had together. I just like the way they put Alexa Bliss in this match and the way she was able to show her abilities again without having all the bullshit that she normally does under Vince.
And from what I'm hearing, and with the tease that we saw, it looks like she's handing over Lily to Asuka, and Asuka may get a character change.
Yeah, that is something that I heard as well. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about it, but now with what we've seen from Triple H, I'm more open to see what they have to do, because he's done good so far with everything he's thrown out there. So
yeah,
me personally, I wouldn't use Lily again. I would find a way to work around having the doll out there, but if you want to pass it down and see what this character changes for Asuka, I'm down for it. So we're just gonna have to wait and see on that as well.
I don't think they'll get rid of it because it's still a good seller for them online.
Yeah, I mean that won't stop it from. If they stop using it, I don't think it'll stop it from selling. But what do I know? I'm just a guy who doesn't want to see that doll anymore because of the history of it and what it caused to one of my favorite guys, which we will talk about as well soon enough. Yeah, but we'll see what they decide to do with Lily and Asuka now that supposedly she's being passed on. So Now that we got our moments in there for Raw, I'm going to go back to Johnny and get his moment for SmackDown.
All right. So the show opened up with, for the first time ever, we got the full bloodline coming out. We had Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn, and they all get in the ring. Very impressive when they're all standing together. Uh, and Roman does his thing, acknowledge me and all that, and Paul Heyman does his thing. I'm the, what's he called, the wise guy or something like that.
Yeah, wise guy,
Wise man,
wise man.
Same thing. But so then Solo Sikoa grabs the mic and Roman says something to him first, and then Solo's like I acknowledge you in my tribal chiefs, to make him official. And it seemed like it was going to be a short promo, because then the music started playing, and Sami Zayn's like, hold on, stop the music. First of all, Sami Zayn has balls to interrupt Roman Reigns' music. So he grabs the mic. He said, I also acknowledge you. And Roman's like, oh, telling Sami, why are you even talking right now? What are you even doing here? Teasing this whole turn on Sami Zayn. And he says, why don't you take off that shirt? Because he's wearing a Bloodline shirt, but it's like the older version. And Sami Zayn really does a great job of selling this. He's like, oh crap, I'm gonna get thrown out. And then Roman looks over to Jay and says, rip that shirt off him, and Jay rips it off him. And Roman said, I don't ever want to see you wearing that shirt again. He said, because I got you a new one. And he got this, gave Sammy this shirt. It says honorary, I think it was honorary Oos or honorary bloodline. Honorary Oos, Sami Zayn puts it on. So Sami got fooled. He hugs Roman and Solo and gives Jimmy the handshake. Jay is still on the fence about Sami Zayn, and still doesn't really want anything to do with him. I like it. It's the best thing going right now in the company. I like to see where it's headed. They did with the teeth turning on Sami Zayn, so that might be a thing that's still to come. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, look, man. Whenever I was watching this, it made me feel bad for Sami Zayn. That's how amazing his facial expressions and his body language was. And normally, when there's something good like this, I don't pay attention to my phone, but it was going off like every 5 seconds. So I didn't open my phone. I was just glancing at it while I was still watching. And a lot of Sami Zayn fans that I have on my Twitter were like, why are they doing this to poor Sammy? Look at his face. He looks like he's about to cry. Don't do this to my poor innocent Sammy. And I understand it, because I like Sami Zayn. I like the character he used to be, and what he's doing now with the Bloodline is fucking greatness. Ever since he came through, it kind of revamped the Bloodline, because they had fallen a bit flat.
Yeah.
So with him coming through and with Solo being there, we said this before, it refreshened it. So yeah, it made me feel bad for him. I was like, I did not expect them to do this to poor Sammy. And then when they gave him the shirt, I'm like, of course that's why they did it. Because they're giving him his own shirt. I am fucking stupid and I fell for it. I really liked it. I felt sad for him, then I felt happy for him. It was great. It was great shit by the Bloodline again this week.
Yeah. So on another note, Solo Sikoa no longer has the North American title because to open up NXT on Tuesday, Shawn Michaels stripped him of the title only because the match that he had that he won it in last week, he wasn't one of the choices that the fans could choose from. They were having like this Taboo Tuesday type of deal where the fans got to choose who Carmelo Hayes' opponent was going to be, and somehow I didn't watch it, but I know somehow it ended up being Solo Sikoa, even though he wasn't on that list. So yeah, that was his whole reasoning. And so now, when they do their Halloween Havoc, they're going to have a North American title ladder match.
Carmelo and 4 other people that have to qualify.
Yeah, so it'll be like the inaugural North American title match.
Yeah, I personally don't like that they did this with Solo. I think he should have kept the title, seeing as he already defended it once. But it is what it is. They're gonna have the match to further it and give us a new champion. So
well, they want him on main roster, and that's a NXT title. So I see why they did it.
Yeah, the match is going to be good though, because now we're under Triple H again. So.
Yeah, but now he just needs to get a title on main roster. I don't know which one you give him.
It's not going to be the 24/7. That's for Sami Zayn.
yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that's some really good shit. And we see.
Take it off Gunther?
No,
I'm thinking more Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, I was thinking Lashley as well, but we'll see what they decide to do that. Before we move over to Andrew's moment, Loomsy, thanks for the raid, bro. I see you, Kate. I see you, Tumbly. I see you, Bambi and Bubbles. I appreciate y'all coming through, and hope y'all enjoy the bullshit we talk, because we talk a lot of bullshit around here. We never know what we're going to say. Appreciate y'all coming through, and have a good night, Bambi. I see you. So now that we got Johnny's moment in there, I'm going to move over to Drew and get his moment for SmackDown.
Well, I'm going to stay on the same page and go with the main event, the Usos versus the Brawling Brutes for the titles. Great match. Got to see a lot of Butch. Pete Dunne, I guess. Butch. We should go back to Pete Dunne, but yeah, he got to showcase his talent, and Ridge Holland got to showcase their talent in this one. We knew the Usos were going to retain. It's just where they're going right now with this thing. But yeah, it was a good match. Lots of action. Sammy tried to get involved with the chair. Sheamus stopped him. Then all of a sudden Imperium comes out and takes out Sheamus. So a lot of chaos on the ringside too while this was going on. So it was a good match.
Yeah, I really liked Butch in this match. I think they just really made him look strong. And ever since he's been having these matches, even though he's still known as Butch, it's Pete fucking Dunne. We've said that. So I just wanna get that name change. Even though it was in defeat, Butch still looked awesome. So I wasn't mad at it.
In another couple weeks on the season premiere of SmackDown, I don't know why it needs a season premiere, but Sheamus and Gunther are going to have another match. And if it was as good as their match Clash at the Castle, it'll be a good one.
Yes.
I mean, is it gonna live up? I don't know because that was a really good match. But
Yeah.
hey,
The potential's
Triple
there.
H,
The potential's there.
yeah, we
And-
know what they can do, so the potential's there.
And I don't know a show that doesn't have repeats has a season premiere.
Yeah, yeah. So they're gonna run that match back, and I'm excited for it because it's fucking Sheamus, man, and we saw what they did last time. So hell yeah, I'm excited for that. My moment isn't really a match; it's just a person and something that she did during her match. So Liv Morgan had a match with Lacey Evans. Here's the thing about Liv Morgan. Even though a lot of people like her, ever since she won the championship, she hasn't had the best reign. We know she deserves better, and if given the chance, she could have really good spots because she is talented. And that's exactly what they did in this match. Liv Morgan going from the it wasn't even the top rope. It was God damn it, what did they call it? I keep on forgetting.
Her finisher?
No, no, no. When she went outside through the table. That senton she did.
Oh.
The apron?
It wasn't the apron, the ring post. There you go. I couldn't remember ring post for a second. I'm stupid, man. My mind's all over the place because of all the shit that happened this week. But yeah, when she flew from the ring post with the senton through the table on Lacey Evans, that and just the camera angle they got from like underneath, and you just the way she landed, and you got that whole view. This is the Liv Morgan we need to see. This is the kinds of moves she can do, and she has to be risk. She has to be a risk taker if she's going to be champion. So I know this was only one spot, but it was a really good spot. Something that we've never seen from her. So I'm excited now that I've seen one great spot from her is just going to create a lot more opportunities for her to show what risk she can take and what she actually wants to do. So hell yeah. That's what I enjoyed from SmackDown this week. I've said it before. I just want to see Liv Morgan in a better spot. And now that she's champion and getting these chances, they need to roll with it. So now that we've got our moments in for WWE, I'm going to go back to Johnny and get his moment for Dynamite Grand Slam.
Okay, our opening match was Chris Jericho versus Claudio for the ROH title, and Chris Jericho actually he respected the code of honor and shook Claudio's hand. It was a really good match. Jericho got the swing again, like he did at Blood and Guts. But last time it was on top of the cage. But at the end, well, Jericho he was cheating throughout the match. Kerry Silken, who was a former Ring of Honor champion, was out at ringside, and Jericho used him as a shield. And towards the end of the match, he grabbed he was going to use the bat, but the ref stopped him. But then behind the ref's back, he gave Claudio the low blow, and of course he did the the juice effect and became the ROH champion for the first time, which was his eighth or his ocho championship, like he called. But after the match, though, Daniel Garcia and the rest of JASA came out to celebrate with him. Um, Daniel Garcia looked upset, and I think it's mainly because Jericho wasn't. He didn't put respect on what Ring of Honor really is, because he cheated a lot. And I think Daniel Garcia is the ROH Pure Champion. I think we're headed to a Jericho versus Daniel Garcia match. I don't know if it's going to be for the titles. If they do, maybe they're gonna. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're gonna get rid of the pure title and merge both titles. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely headed to Chris Jericho versus Daniel Garcia because of, like you said, him being the pure champion and how Jericho is cheating to win, even though Ring of Honor championships and Ring of Honor in general is all based on respect. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do there. I don't know if you unify the championships.
Nah.
I think I wouldn't either, just because
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I think Jericho needs to be taught a lesson, and if anybody's going to teach him that lesson, it should be the pure champion,
Yeah,
Daniel Garcia. He's got to teach him that he needs to have respect again if he's going to be a champion in Ring of Honor.
and I wouldn't mind them just putting the ROH title on Daniel Garcia.
Yeah,
Let him be a double champion.
yeah. Because, I mean, Jericho, obviously, he has a lot of respect from us and from a lot of people in the wrestling community. So, we know this is just his character. Like, this isn't how he really acts and stuff. But I wouldn't put him as a double champion, but if they didn't, I wouldn't be too mad. As long as he wins without cheating. But seeing the character they're using him as right now, he probably would cheat to win the Pure Championship from Garcia. And that's just what that title's not about. So if he cheats to win, I wouldn't do it. If he wins respectively, then I would do it. It all depends. And you could always have a rematch somewhere down the line where Daniel Garcia just wins both titles off of him. But yeah, man, that shit is very interesting. I'm happy for Jericho because now he's been champion in WCW, champion in WWE, champion in AEW, and champion in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can say that. So get that respect on his name that he definitely deserves. So hell yeah, man. That was some really good shit they did there. So now that we got Johnny's moment in there, I think I know what moment he's going to take, but we'll see if that's what he decides to go with. Drew, what is your moment for Dynamite Grand Slam?
Well, first of all, I want to talk about how just mention that, hey, we had 5 title matches in this show. It was an awesome
Yeah.
show.
Every match was a
It was
title
a
match.
title match. So, but come on, 2 members of Blackpool Combat Club going at it for the championship. You have to respect that.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan and Moxley. And Daniel Bryan didn't tap. Mox choked him out, but it's a great match. Moxley and Danielson got into a chopping fest.
As they always do.
As they always do. The stereo handstand slapping each other.
Oh yeah.
When that was funny. it was just a great match, back and forth. They put each other through the ringer like you would expect two members of the Blackpool Combat Club, and they're still a team, even though one of them won, one of them still.
Well, that's what William Regal said. As much as they like beating other people, beating up other people, they like beating each other up too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
And so now Moxley's 3-time AEW champion.
Yeah.
The first 3-time champion.
Yeah. I just hope after everything that happened, because Moxley was supposed to be on vacation right now.
Right.
It's very clear that he's supposed to be on vacation. So never count him out, but a lot of people went into this match thinking they were going to put it on Danielson. That way Moxley can go on the vacation he had planned.
Right.
And somewhere Renee Paquette is like, fuck, we're finally going to get away for a couple of weeks.
Damn it. I want to go
Damn
to
you, CM Punk. Yeah. I don't know what the plan is.
I think they're going to give it to MJF the next pay-per-view or whatever. So I don't think they'll put on Danielson, have him have that short of a reign. You give to Mox, who's already had two reigns already. Give him a third one. Just made more sense to put back on Mox.
Yeah. Yeah. I just we know eventually the road leads to MJF.
Right.
Just don't know when exactly that's going to happen.
So is that casino chip sort of like a Money in the Bank briefcase?
We don't know. The way MJF made it sound like it was, but I don't know how Tony Khan goes.
Sounds like, because Excalibur saying he can cash that in any time. It's like, any time, or does he have to tell him beforehand he wants a match of them?
Because I know
they at the end of a match and catch it in, like the Money in the Briefcase, or what?
Because a lot of people are saying, well, maybe he's just going to wait until late next year to cash it in and win the title, and then he'll show up like on Raw or something with the people are trying to book CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40 title for title. Right, I said CM Punk. I meant MJF. MJF versus Cody Rhodes.
I don't know. No, it would take a lot.
Yeah,
to be able to make that happen.
But first, you got to get Tony Khan and Triple H on board with that.
I can see him doing it like a Forbidden Door, but not title for title.
Yeah,
I could see champion versus champion, but not title for title.
This is a rough situation we find ourselves in. But it is a good situation, nonetheless. I just don't know what you do here. There's a lot that can be done. The only sure thing is eventually MJF is going to be the one that gets that title.
Yeah.
And as far as what y'all said about the casino chip, if it's like Money in the Bank, I've heard both. Because on commentary, they put it in as he can cash it in whenever he wants. But I've also heard people say that he needs to go through Tony to get that match. So, in a way, it's like Money in the Bank, but it's really not.
It's not spur of the moment.
Yeah, it's not spur of the moment.
But he can do it anytime if the match has to be announced. You can't surprise someone after a match is over.
No.
Like Money in the Bank does.
It has to be its own match.
Yeah, he has to just tell Tony, "Hey, I want a match for the title this week."
Yeah, that's how it has to be done. So we'll see when exactly it happens. Some people are saying within the month. That way, Moxley can go on vacation, and then there's people like Johnny and myself who think that a long time from now is when it'll happen.
because we know on October 18th in Cincinnati, Moxley's defending the title against Will. We'll talk about that coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, that we're going to talk about that soon as well. But hell yeah, fucking badass match they had. And now we're coming to my moment. Which, holy shit, man. Okay, look. Hell of a match between Toni Storm, Serenity, Athena, Britt Baker. Loved it. I love that Toni Storm won. It was quite obvious that Britt Baker and her group were going to get the beatdown spot at the end. They took Athena out. They took Toni Storm out. And she was about to...
Hater came to the ring.
Yeah, Hater came to the ring. They were all out there. She was putting the glove on when you hear Zombified hit. And okay, here's something that happened to me, not related. My monitor got screwed up. I was getting some work done at the house. It was mishandled. So I was taking my monitor down because I had to take it into Best Buy the next day. I was doing that right when Zombified hit. And in that moment, I thought, well, this monitor is already fucked up, so why not just drop it more, you know? It doesn't fucking matter. Look who's coming out. But I didn't. I just set the monitor down on my couch and I stood and watched. The crowd was quiet at first because I don't think a lot of them had any idea as to who was going to come out. But if you know Saraya and you know that she's dating Ronnie Radke from Falling in Reverse, and he allows her to use his music on her stream without any repercussions because, you know, people can't do that shit on Twitch unless if it's a live version.
Yeah.
I knew who it was. From the moment that first note hit, I knew who it was. And you just, as soon as Zombified, like the word Zombified hits, because that's the first lyric said in that song, you just see Saraya pop up on the screen. Like that, the crowd goes nuts. Yep. I'm freaking the fuck out. She walks out. She does her whole look at the camera and sticks out her tongue thing that she used to do. The crowd is just so fucking loud to the point where you can't even hear Zombified anymore. And that is a hell of a thing to say because Zombified is such a loud fucking song. Anything by Falling in Reverse is loud as fuck. So the fact that the crowd was able to drown out the song is impressive. And I think very well deserved.
Yeah.
I personally
it was.
Yeah, which I understand because a lot of people didn't know
her real name.
Who she was.
They didn't know her real name.
Yeah.
And to be fair, she's been gone quite a while. She hasn't wrestled in a very long time. I think it's been about 5 years.
2017, December 2017.
Yeah, that's 5 years. Almost 5.
Yeah. So I understand that a lot of people don't know who she is. And yeah, like Andrew said, don't know that what her real name is.
Yeah.
So but as soon as they realized who it was, just completely drowned out the song. She gets into the ring, immediately clears out the ring, but that's just because, for those who know, she isn't cleared yet, so she can't get physical with anyone just yet. But that's going to come. They're really working hard on clearing her.
Yeah.
You're not just going to
All the
bring
girls
someone-
ringside are just smiling.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You can't bring someone like Saraya in just to be a manager.
So I want to add something to that. I'm going to give a shout out. I doubt he listens to this podcast, but if he doesn't, maybe somebody could tell him. But Rivers Cuomo, the lead singer of Weezer, they just came out with their new autumn EP, and he was doing a show on Sirius XM this weekend, playing his favorite autumn related songs and some songs from the new album. That's one of the songs he picked was Zombified by Falling in Reverse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, and this is something I told Johnny and Andrew throughout the week after it happened. I myself personally think she got a bigger reception than CM Punk did. That's just my thoughts.
I think so, because this was more of a surprise. I mean, not even Sean Ross Sapp knew she was gonna debut. He had responded to a tweet from Lou Dangor earlier. I don't know what Louis was saying, but even on the Q&A show, he's like, well, I don't know what's gonna happen on Dynamite. Maybe Paige will debut, not knowing that it was actually gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, normally he has some sort of an idea when something is going to happen. Like he knew about CM Punk. He knows a lot of things when it comes to what big surprises are coming the day of. This he did not know. That is how much of a secret AEW kept it. To me, okay, I was very excited when it happened. I freaked the fuck out. Even though I kind of knew it was going to happen. Because for me, it was spoiled a little bit. And Andrew knows the story. So I won't get into all the details, so I'll just say it real quick. The person that I mod for, Jeree, lives in New York. She mods for Saraya. They've been very good friends for a couple of years now. So Saraya contacted her during the weekend and said, hey, I got you tickets to AEW. Just make sure you're not working. I want you to go, and I have another surprise for you. And she put this all on Discord early Wednesday. So I'm like, so myself and everybody else that's in her Discord was like, why would Saraya be giving you tickets to a company that she has no affiliation with yet? That just means one thing. She's going to be there. She was like, no, she's not going to be there. She promised. She's my friend. She wouldn't lie to me. Well, she lied. So we just put everything together, and that was a bit of a spoiler for myself and everybody else there. But even knowing that, just to see her on TV and to know that she's back and working hard on getting cleared makes me real happy.
And we're gonna hear from her this Wednesday.
Yeah, that's another thing is I'm really excited to hear what she has to say, because she didn't even get a live mic. She didn't need a live mic that night. It was just built for us to see her, to know that she's there, and to build up to what she has to say on Wednesday, which I'm truly excited for. And like Kev just said in the chat, that was a huge spoiler. It was spoiled for us. But either way, we were happy. I'm happy. I'm very anxious to see what she says on Wednesday. And I'm just happy she's back and ready to see her in ring. So I hope that happens sooner than later.
Yeah. Just hope she's still not fighting with her family.
No. And even her brother put up a tease on Twitter saying, well, now that Soraya's there, maybe they have a spot for me.
He made him an all elite graphic.
Yeah, he even made an all elite graphic with him on there. So, hey, if they bring him in, if that's what they lead to as well, I'm down for it. You know,
Yeah, I
They-
mean, because he here in the States, he's not really known.
yeah, yeah. But seeing again because of the movie Fighting with My Family, and a lot of people watch that movie. I think it was WWE's #1 movie they've ever put out.
I believe
Yeah.
it.
So a lot, even though a lot of people haven't seen him wrestle here, they know that he's a wrestler because of watching that movie.
What was
So
the second movie he taught a blind kid to wrestle?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So hey, man, if they decide to bring him in, he has a lot of experience. So I think that would be someone that could hold his own in
And
AEW.
evidently, he's a great coach.
Yeah,
And it's no coincidence that the top movies WWE's ever come out with featured The Rock.
yeah. That's not a big surprise either. But yeah, man.
Except for Lincoln.
Mm, yeah, that's another story. Yeah, but I was just happy to see her. I hope she is able to get in the ring soon, carefully still, because again, neck issues can be very tricky. So have some decent matches, work your way up, and eventually just lead into Britt Baker, lead into Thunder Rosa, Hikaru Shida, Jamie Hayter, fucking everybody. Just beat the shit out of everybody. Just have good matches. I think we'll get there. So I'm excited for this match.
So you don't want her to win her title in her first match like she did when she debuted on Raw?
Only, only if it's Jade fucking Cargill. If
That
she
would be
comes
cool.
in her first match and beats Jade Cargill, I am fucking fine with that shit.
That would work for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen in her first match. I don't know what kind of plans they have for it. But this definitely gives the AEW women's division a lot to look forward to. I just hope Tony, again, we're going to say this. I've said this many times and I'm going to say it again. I just hope Tony realizes what he has and the possibility of how great this can be. You can't mess this up. It wouldn't be a good look for them. So I hope it works out, man. I really hope it does, because a lot of people would be very upset with AEW and Tony if they fuck this up. So we're just gonna have to see what route they decide to take. So now that we got our moments in there for Dynamite Grand Slam, I'm gonna go back to Johnny and get his moment for Rampage Grand Slam.
Okay, yeah. Mine is going to be the first match again. It was Sting and Darby Allin versus the remaining members of House of Black, Buddy Matthews and Brody King. And this match went all over the place. You had a couple table spots. Darby did a coffin drop off the stage. It was just everywhere. Sting again is still taking bumps. Which, yeah, at 62. But Sting and Darby eventually got the win because of a distraction. Music started playing. I didn't know who it was at first, but then out on the stage you see dressed in full costume, the Great Muta, which if you know the history of Japanese wrestling, he was one of the great wrestlers in pro wrestling Noah, and I know back in the day him and Sting has had some matches together, and that caused the distraction to where Sting can get the the Scorpion Death Drop and take up the win. Uh, apparently, the Great Mood is on his retirement tour, and just like Ric Flair had his last match this year, he's going to have his last match next year. And from what I'm hearing, Sting is going to be involved in his last match. And apparently, he's given his last match is going to be, and I don't know if it's going to be the whole show or just the match. It's going to be called the Bye Bye.
Which, hey, and I don't mind it. That works for me, you know?
Yeah. But it was
Because,
good to see a legend.
yeah. So going into Rampage, obviously the spoilers were out there because it was filmed already. It was already on. It was already recorded.
It was after Dynamite.
Yeah, they went for a very long time that night.
Yeah, so in New York, so this show started probably around 7:30 New York time. They didn't get out of the show till almost 1 in the morning, and they were saying that people had already started leaving even before the main event. Someone said it's because the train system in New York stops working at midnight, so which left a lot of people stranded.
Yeah. I think it was that and a combination of it being a work night and a school night.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I know someone, again, Jury was there. So they didn't get out until 1 a.m. So he said they didn't make it home until 2 a.m. at least. So yeah, man, a lot of people had some really long nights that night, but it was worth it from what I heard.
Well, it's like
what we saw
when they were here they did Fighter Fest last summer. The show started 6:30. Andrew, we didn't get out till like 11:30.
12:30.
Yeah, somewhere around there. It was a long show. It was a long show.
Yeah.
And that was before Rampage.
Yeah. They recorded 2 hours Dynamite, an hour.
They recorded a longer episode of Dark than Rampage than the Dynamite.
Then they did Evolution too, so they recorded all 3 shows in one night. It's like, damn, I want to go home. I'm sleepy.
I had to call in.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where you don't want to leave, but you know that you should, but you end up not leaving because of how awesome it is.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we've been there. It isn't the first time, and it isn't going to be the last time. Because we got, again, the Halloween episode of Raw coming soon, and we all know, like, we already made it known that we're not going to go to work the following day.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
I took that off.
I got it scheduled out too. So
yeah, so fuck that. We're not going to be there. We're going to be at Raw. But yeah, man, that match was really good. Great Muta coming out was fucking awesome. There's only one thing that I'm a little bit down on in this match, which not really anymore, but in the moment, a lot of people got scared. Julia Hart and the spot where she got pushed off of the apron through a table.
She missed the table.
She missed 95% of the table and hit the back of her head on the guardrail. And I saw a video that someone took where they were front row right where she hit and trying to do her best to hide that she was crying. But there's some obvious spots when she would move that she was wiping tears from her face.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bad spot, man. But she's fine. It was just in the moment that she was phased, and very much so, very justified that she was. But I'm glad that she's fine. That's just something I needed to say because props to her for doing what she does and going through all that shit. And we just appreciate her. So now that we've had Johnny's moment, I'm going to go over to Drew and get his moment for Rampage.
It's probably the fastest paced match in this card. Phoenix and Jungle Boy going at it. Reading some of the comments. Somebody said, Phoenix is not real. He has to be a CGI creation that's just too realistic to notice it's fake. That's the only logical explanations for the thing he can do, for the things he can do. Thought that was funny. Yeah, those two together, pulling off the stuff they do, it's just incredible. Like, and it shows how much Jungle Boy has improved in the 3 years since he started.
Yeah.
And I guess Phoenix is probably one of the ones that probably helped him the most.
And this
relates to his style quite a bit.
Yeah, this is a good way to push, start pushing Jungle Boy or Jack Perry as a singles wrestler.
Yeah.
In fact, I would go as far as to say that the next champion after MJF will be Jungle Boy.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's the fast pace that they normally set, especially with Jungle Boy and having Ray Phoenix in there. It was intense, man. A lot of shit in this show was very intense. And whenever SRS on one of his live streams looked at everything that happened for Rampage because someone told them, hey, maybe you should take a look, just don't give the spoilers away. He was amazed, and like he's a fan after all, but he normally never shows himself freaking out over what happens and what he reads, but he did this time. So we all knew going into this 2-hour Rampage that it was going to be insane, and that's exactly what it was. So props to Jungle Boy, props to Phoenix. They put up a hell of a match. And for my moment, I want to give props to Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks because they also put on a hell of a main event. Ricky Starks, man, look, nothing against Powerhouse Hobbs because he always looks good. He always looks physically imposing. But Ricky Starks, I think, is the more well-rounded of the two.
Yes.
He has, he's got the star power. A lot of people compared him to like The Rock, how he could eventually get to that top level. And I do believe it. So the fact that he got the win here over Powerhouse and just the caliber of match that they had, it was pretty fucking badass.
And he took on another series bump with the two chairs back to back, and he took a backdrop onto the chairs. Yeah, that's a really dangerous spot.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna bring another thing up in this match. I don't know if y'all were able to audibly hear it, but when you isolate the part and you listen closely, you can. Whenever Hobbs and Starks were fighting up and down the ramp, and Ricky was kind of dragging himself towards the ring, and Hobbs was just walking behind him. Whenever he turned to the crowd, kind of gave a smirk and blew a kiss at someone, Yeah, that was at Drury. She was in that front row. And they isolated the video, and you could hear her saying, "Get up, Ricky." And that's what caught his attention. He blew that kiss to her, and she just starts saying, "Ew." So, knowing what was said, like when you look back at it, I can hear it. So it's I just like how much AEW interacts with the crowd. They do it more than WWE, and it's just awesome to see that shit. So yeah, but props to Powerhouse, props to Ricky Starks. Like I said, it was a hell of a match and a hell of a show for AEW. So yeah, man, real good shit there from AEW, bringing Saraya in and just giving us 4 amazing televised hours on top of Dark and all that shit.
This week on Dynamite, we get Moxley versus Juice Robinson.
Yeah, that is going to be fucking probably match of that show.
Yeah, because you know that they have history.
Yeah, they have a lot of history, so it's going to be a really good match. Sorry, I'm just getting an order taken care of real quick that I have to go pick up after we're done here. But yeah, man, that match is going to be fucking awesome. They never fail. Like every time we say it every week, it's repetitive when we say it, but it's the damn truth. AEW shocks us one way or another every single week. And WWE has been doing the same, but AEW stepping up their game, bringing Saraya in, the level of matches they had this week, giving us the extra hour on Rampage. It worked.
So one thing we didn't mention, by the way, Hangman Page won that Battle Royal. So he will be facing Moxley on October 18th, which is going to be a Tuesday night because of the baseball playoffs. So they're going to go head to head with NXT that night.
And it's in Cincinnati.
Yeah, in Cincinnati, Moxley's hometown. I like this, but then I don't at the same time because we've never seen a one-on-one Moxley versus Hangman Page. It's going to be a good match, but like I said in the past, they just keep going back to the same people over and over again when it comes to this world title, not giving new people opportunities. There were some guys in that battle royal we haven't seen in a while. Brian Cage was in that battle royal. You had Dalton Castle in the battle royal. Roosh was the last person in there with Hangman. It almost looked like Roosh was going to win it at one point. So I'm just saying, start pushing other people. We don't. I mean, we like these guys, but we've seen them at the top already.
Yeah, we have seen them at the top. I think it's time where they start bringing in other people. You had a chance there, like you got Dalton Castle. There's names that can be utilized, and you can make it look really good.
Yeah, they don't have to win the title. Just give them opportunities to fight for the title.
Yeah. They're gonna get some good chances in the future. So this is just a step forward, but yeah, they need to start utilizing other people because it is getting a little repetitive, but it's still going to be a good match. I'm just ready to see what they do with Mox, what kind of run he has, how long this run is going to be, because these last couple he's really gotten the shaft because of this whole CM Punk situation. So
yeah,
it's going to be interesting. So
because of the big shaft, CM Punk.
Yeah. I'm still a bit sour, man. I still don't know how to fully feel about it. But the report did come out that his contract has been bought out and that he's probably not returning.
So it was official?
That's what I'm hearing.
Because I've heard
That's
that
what
too,
I'm
but I
saying.
thought that was just speculation on
That's
Wade Keller.
That's what I'm hearing. Because different people are starting to report it. Haven't heard it confirmed from SRS yet, but like the Sportster and different pages like that are starting to say the same thing.
Wow.
So once it starts getting that type of traction, it's more than likely correct.
I'm not going to believe until I hear from Sean, because those other, you can't trust most of those other sources.
Yeah, but we'll see what comes out.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we'll hear a lot more from that within this next month. So we're starting to get that situation a little bit cleared up. But yeah, lots of great shit from AEW, lots of good shit from WWE this week. Again, like I said, Saraya coming through and her having a live mic on Wednesday is going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So can't wait for all of that shit to happen. So, like always, to see what happens here, it is time to stump the brain.
Okay. Now that it is vacant at the moment, I want to know who is the first NXT North American champion.
it was Ricochet.
Was it? Are you sure?
He was in that match. Or was is this a trick question?
No, it wasn't Ricochet.
Or was it Aleister Black?
Neither.
So who was it?
Yeah, because I can't think of who else was in that match.
Adam Cole, baby.
Oh.
It was.
I don't know why. For the longest time, I thought Ricochet was won that match.
EC3, Killian Dane, Adam Cole, Ricochet, Lars Sullivan, and the other guy that we don't talk about.
Oh, yes, that guy. Yeah.
No, we don't talk about that guy.
No.
But yeah, it was Adam Cole, baby.
I don't know why. For the longest time, I thought Ricochet won that match.
No.
I mean, if it would have been either one of those names, except for that other guy we don't talk about, yeah, would have been an amazing first champion. So either one of those would have made sense.
So before we go, I know the last couple weeks you've had movie questions. Did y'all see Tony Khan on Twitter? He was teasing that Paul White is going to bring back the Captain Insano character in AEW.
I did hear about that. I mean, it would be great if he does. Only if you bring in Adam Sandler as well.
As the Water Boy.
Why not, dude? We've had Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
Like
we had Rosario Dawson get physical with Malachi Black.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's definitely room and time there.
Shore the other day, or wasn't that Jersey Shore? Yeah.
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 And fuck that guy. Yeah. So if they're gonna do the Captain Insano thing, I think you bring in Adam Sandler, or you bring in someone else. You know, Steve Buscemi. Oh no, we suck again. Like you bring somebody. You gotta bring in somebody.
You can do it. Oh.
You can do it. You gotta bring in somebody from that movie. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Wait, that was Steve Buscemi,
wasn't it?
I thought it was Rob Schneider.
Oh, my bad. I don't know why I was thinking Steve Buscemi.
But you're thinking of Fargo.
Probably.
That's Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I was thinking of the wrong guy. But
You can
yeah,
bring in the
man.
Ponzi.
Now who got the movie question wrong?
Okay, fuck it. I got it wrong. All right. I'm still on the Soraya thing. It's still blowing my mind. All right. So
And you got sword. You got sword with the whole braid thing. Like
yeah.
you did.
Yeah. So it was, first of all, fuck you, Andrew. I already told you this because it went to commercial break, like you said. You
Yeah,
asshole.
I said that.
Well, he agreed to it. I'm
No.
pissed off at you both.
Hey, Twitter goes commercial.
Yeah. But it was a QR code, and I did go to it. It was a maze with obstacles. The little white rabbit go through the maze, and as soon as you get to the door, it leads to another animated video that leads to the coordinates to Monday Night Raw. So the search for the white rabbit continues, and I'll be again. It's going to be a double header for me tomorrow night because I'm going to be watching Raw on one screen and the Cowboys game on another.
Now I'm hearing that he might come out at Extreme Rules.
We'll see. We'll see when he comes out, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get another cryptic message tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So just another thing to look forward to. But like always, if you have any questions or comments, WrestleLost@gmail.com, WrestleLost on Facebook, and apologize for us not having the normal Twitch setup. Streamlabs had an update and it fucked it up again. So got to go work on getting that fixed. So give us a follow on there, and hopefully if all works out, we'll be there live next week with everything.
And also subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yep, subscribe to us on YouTube. This video upload is going to be on there by the end of the night tonight. So until then, hope everybody has an awesome Sunday night, and see y'all next weekend.
See you next week.
Check you later.